Good morning, everyone. Sorry we started a bit late, trying to get everyone on board here. So I hope you had a pleasant evening, and we'll soak up some of the sunshine today. It's going to be a beautiful day. And today I want to talk about relationship and emotions and caregiving work. Yesterday we talked about building the relationship. And I think we all know that our work is emotional work. We're not truck drivers, we're not technicians, we are emotion workers. And that means that we have to be very, very sensitive and aware, not only of our employers' emotions, but also of our own. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So today's program is going to be for the next half hour, 40 minutes or so. I'm going to talk about different aspects of our work and emotions. And then we're going to have a 5-minute break. And then we have a guest, as Anat told us yesterday. Her name is Nympha. She's a care worker who's been here working as a Filipino for quite some months. And she will tell about her experience. And of course, you're welcome to ask questions, ask her questions, ask me, Anat, and share with us your dilemmas, thoughts, and so on, and feelings. Very important. So let's begin and see what it's all about. So what is care? The word care has a double meaning. On the one hand, it emphasizes care activities such as bathing, dressing, or feeding someone. On the other hand, care is also feelings of concerns, such as caring or affection from the caregiver towards the patient. When we care about someone, we usually feel commitment, responsibility towards him. And care work, the definition. Care work has been defined as work that provides services based on sustained personal interaction and is motivated, at least partly, by concern about others. Care work involves creating relationship with the patient and his family. The relationship is the way in which two or more concepts, objects, people are connected or the state of being connected. So, okay, all of these definitions aside, you're entering into a relationship that you have to define the parameters, okay? So in a sense, care is involved, right? You can't do your job properly if you don't care for the person. But again, this is a new kind of a role. It's different from any role that you've had in the past as a worker in a care facility, perhaps is different because you're living in the same, the same household. Again, not family, not neighbors, not friends. Care that lives in is a different kind of an interaction. And I assume that if you've chosen this line of work and have made this commitment for, the next few months, obviously, many months, years, perhaps also, this is going to be a part of your life. And so it's a new type of a relationship that you must be minded and concerned about your own feelings and the feelings of the people around you, your employer. And of course, the motivation here is, of course, you're employed. You have, you have responsibility. They have responsibility. You expect to be paid at the end of, each month or so. And so it makes it a different kind of a relationship that you've experienced in the past. Interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationship is an association between two or more people that may range from fleeting to enduring. This is going to be an enduring relationship, right? This association may be based on care, solidarity, regular business interaction, or some other type of social commitment. All of those aspects are going to be part of this commitment, right? Social interactions, financial interaction, okay, and commitment. This relationship you create with your patient and his family as an interpersonal relationship. And again, I want to stress the relationship is also with the family. So firstly, you must see them as a group, okay? You're going to join a team. and everyone has a part. You obviously have a very major part in it. And again, use the skills that you have in communicating with your own family and friends in terms of the media, the internet, face group, and try to incorporate that into the way you interact with the family that you are, now going to be working for. So find out who are the friends, who are the daughters, sons, grandchildren, make a list of them, and be proactive in encouraging your employer to connect with these members of the family and friends and so on, because it's Corona time again, and everybody is, being disassociated and distanced and so on and introverted, and you will have a very important job in assisting them in reconnecting, okay? Not just waiting for the sons and daughters and grandchildren to call, but be proactive, encourage them to make that call once a week, ask how they're doing and so on. And also if there are, internet groups that the family has, like a WhatsApp group or something else, try to join and be proactive in giving some kind of a weekly report. We had a good week. We needed this, this, and the other. We had, kind of a difficult few days and whatever. Be proactive in sharing in your experience. The meaning and importance of a relationship. Relationships provide the opportunity for three key benefits: exchange of support, social engagement, and a sense of worth. All major ingredients for the foundation of well-being of both sides of the relationship, okay? Support, absolutely. You need the family and your employer's support because you're, in a compromised position being alone, and you're not in your own space and without, having all of the amenities and support that you have at home. So you need this employer's support and his family, of course. Social engagement, obviously, you're going to be seeing them 24 hours a day. And a sense of worth. Everybody needs to feel that they're getting up in the morning and their life is meaningful. And so you're doing a wonderful job, and they need your support, and they need your social engagement, right? To be part of their daily life, smiling for them, encouraging them, and so on. And you need it as well. And they also need to feel that their day is worthwhile, that they have things that they need to do, that they're important to their surroundings and to their family. And this is something you can also be a part of. So components of a relationship. On the surface of the relationship, there are needs, desires, and abilities. And under the surface of a relationship, of course, there are expectations, knowledge, and emotions. So absolutely, sometimes we have negative emotions towards situations that we're exposed to, perhaps difficult. Every job has its difficult things that you need to do, right? No job is absolutely 100% pleasant, but we overcome it and we continue, right? So expectations, knowledge, and emotions, yes, we have our own, and also our employer has his. And needs, absolutely, desires and abilities. Be aware of the abilities of your employer. Very important to encourage him to do whatever he can for as long as he can. Don't be too good in the sense that, you'll do it for him, you do it quicker, you do it nicer, you do it, more efficiently. No. Give your employer the ability to do as much for himself as possible, under your watchful eye, so that he's obviously not in any danger or so on. But yes, be encouraging, but not doing instead of him, okay? Because there's nothing more debilitating than feeling worthless. And when you can't, do for yourself, most people do acquire this kind of a sense of being worthless, okay? Bad enough that you can't do for others, but not doing for yourself is a very difficult place to be. On the surface of a relationship, there are needs, desires, and abilities. Both the caregiver and the patient have needs, okay? Needs for listening, attention, honesty, and feeling respected. Desires, both the caregiver and the patient have desires for, to be listened to, attention, honesty, and feeling respected. And of course, abilities. Both the caregiver and the patient have ability to listen, to respect each other. Very important to respect each other. And under the surface of a relationship, of course, there are expectations. Sometimes we talk about them, and most of the time we don't. Both have expectations. The caregiver and the patient have expectations for their needs, knowledge. Both caregiver and patient have, right? Knowledge, what is good and what in their eyes and what isn't. And emotions, both the caregiver and the patient have emotions, okay? Positive and negative, empathy, longing. I just want you to be minded about your own emotions. And also when you're sensitive to yourself, I think that eventually you will learn and know how to read your employer's emotions, okay? And this is the process of knowing them, okay? If they're sitting this way, it means this. And if they're sitting that way, it means something else, right? All of those things are very important to find out at the beginning of a relationship. Be attentive, be a good listener and a good observer, because, verbal language is going to be a limited way of communication. So be sensitive to understand what else in the surroundings is important to your employer and to make him calm and relaxed. Also about your own feelings. Hey, you're young, vibrant people, you have needs, you have desires, you have energy that needs to be, find direction in a positive way. So if you have free time, learn how to spend it in a way that will, enhance you. Okay, very important to find a way to make you stronger emotionally and physically. Exercise, meditate, pray, listen to music, dance, join, internet groups that do all those things. Communicate with friends, family, listen, read, learn something new, learn Hebrew. Very important. All of those things will keep you strong. And as you know, if you're strong, you can do a good job. If you're not going to do a good job. The connection between two layers of a relationship: needs, desires, ability, expectation, knowledge, and emotions. All of those are very, very important to think about when we're building a relationship. So what is care work? Care work is emotion work, right? And part of the emotion work is knowing how to manage our own emotions, right? Not at every point in time it's appropriate to express our emotions, but definitely it's important to express our emotions, okay? If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're anxious, all of those things will come out. You're not, you can't hide it if you're living in a situation where you're working. And you don't want to hide it. You want to be straightforward and honest about things, and also find the strength, right, to persevere if you have difficult times. So care work is often defined as emotional work. Emotional work can be defined as work that involves emotions that arise, and work that requires to express emotion. It can also be defined as management of one's own feelings or work done in an effort to maintain a relationship, right? So basically it becomes very difficult if there are, negative emotions between you and your employer. You must find ways to dissolve it in order to, to continue. And I want to stress the fact that you don't feel that you are alone in any kind of a difficult situation, okay? If you have a dilemma, how to deal with an issue with your employer and his family, please don't feel that you're alone. You can always contact the social worker in the service that you're working with, right? And also you can see me here, write a message, we will return, and talk to you about things. And there's ways to dissolve issues. Sometimes if you're alone, you feel overwhelmed, but don't be alone, okay? Try to find a coworker, a friend, Anyway, don't be alone. It's only natural that during the caregiving work, differences and varied emotions will arise, both positive and negative. Each emotion is legitimate, and again, don't be alone with them. Along with the emotions you have towards your patient, remember to be self-compassionate towards yourself. Very important, okay? You must take care of yourself, eat well, exercise, try to sleep when you have an opportunity. If you feel any negative emotions, do not suppress them. Do not be left alone with your feelings and emotions. You can always find someone to talk to, friends, family, and agency, okay? So tips for creating a good relationship. Be mindful of how you start a conversation, okay? Ask open questions. Use the I statement. I repeat that very often because it's very important that you present yourself in any kind of a situation. Be specific in the message that you want to transfer. So again, I want to emphasize when your employer is not speaking English, and for both of you, if he is speaking English, it's a second language and it's a different culture. And sometimes, there are hand gestures and body gestures and everything around us that is, nonverbal communication sometimes sends a bigger message than, anything you might say with words. So you want to be very specific in the message you want to transfer, right? Use short sentences, simple words, look a person in the eye and smile. You gotta smile. Everything goes down better with a smile. And give others the attitude that you want to receive. I think this is, this is very important. What is going on here with my screen? Okay. Yes, giving the others the attitude that you want to receive, I think is the basis for all relationships. And I invite you to discuss with us. What do you think about all of the subjects that we spoke about? What are your expectations from the relationship with your patient, if you're willing to share? What do you think your patient's expectations are from you? What feelings do you think you may have during caregiving work? How do you usually express your feelings? How do you feel generally about care work? And why did you choose this line of work? Is my big question. Such a big decision to come to a foreign country and care for other people's, elderly or disabled people is a very, very, altruistic kind of a step. And of course, there's money involved, and it will, assist you in your future and your family, perhaps, and other things. But even so, not everyone can do this job. Not everyone can do this job. Even in their own family, and so you must have some kind of part of your personality that's a very giving. Big part of your personality is ability to give to others, and I commend you for that. Would anyone like to share? Ask questions about anything at all. Big group. Okay.
Yes, we are, and no one likes to share what made you come here.
Morning.
Good morning.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I just want to share about my what is my purpose in being here, aside from earning money. maybe it's our passion to work with the older people, especially with the chosen people, the Holy Land. It is a fulfillment for me because I was here 2011. So I've got that passion to work with elder people and especially Jewish people. I didn't apply from any other country. I only apply in Israel. I love Jewish people. That's all.
Wow, how nice to hear. So you were here before?
No, I just came here for tourist, holding a tourist visa for 3 months in Jerusalem.
Oh, wow. So you're a
And
very
I know,
spiritual person.
yeah, I think so. I I noticed how Jew was their culture, their attitude among the Filipinos, and here in Israel we have the rights. Uh, what we call this than any other country. We have we can demand. We have the right. We practice our rights here in Israel. That's the second.
Yeah, you have the same right as
As
us,
any other
as
worker.
worker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm so happy to have you with us. The family that's going to employ
Yeah,
you
to
is
that.
very lucky.
Yeah, to that. I love Jewish people.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. And it's amazing because there was a lottery and you found yourself in. You're very lucky.
So where will you be employed? Do you know? In what city?
Right now,
Yes, your employer?
in fact, I got canceled my visa yesterday, and then my agency find a new one for me.
Where? In what city?
Mudiin, which I like the most because it's near from Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
And who will
before,
you be caring for?
I'm with my Abba. He's 90 years old with dementia,
Okay. So that's
together
going to
with
be it
his spouse.
with his spouse.
Yeah,
Okay. So that's going to be a challenge. But well,
yeah,
you have all that it takes. You have, your motivation and your health and your physical abilities. And I'm sure you're going to be you're going to do well.
thank you. Toda
Okay.
raba.
Thank you for sharing that. RJ, right? That's your name, RJ?
Yeah, that's my real name.
RJ, welcome. Okay. Anyone else like to share about their motivation to come and do this kind of work?
Hello.
Hi,
Hi. Good morning.
good
My name
morning.
is
Lincoln?
Hello.
Hi,
Belingon Rajini?
Yeah, Raj.
Good
I
morning.
just want to answer, or should I say, I just want to answer what are your expectations from the relationship with your patient. Um, First of all, we came here to work as a caregiver. So at first we're really nervous. Right now, I don't have my employer or the one that I'm going to take care of didn't pick me up yet here at the agency since yesterday. So right now I'm expecting that as a caregiver, they will, as I give them respect, I will also expect respect from them, and also humane treatment. That's all. That's one of my expectations coming from them. So that's what I want to share.
to be treated well.
Yes, humane treatment. Or
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
to be treated well. because
Hey,
I hear
we all
from,
want to be treated well, no matter where we are. I think that's,
yeah,
that's very important, not to feel that you're being taken advantage of or, God forbid, being abused in any way. I just want to say that, sometimes people, because everybody is like in this corona in the house, not going out, being so, anxious. I think it's providing anxiety for everyone because there's a sense of not knowing what, it's not what we knew from before. And it's all over the world. It's not something, just here, just for you, more for you because you're in a stranger's home. But be minded that the family is also feeling this way. And so everybody is beginning in the same place and of being anxious and in a place of unknown in many ways, right? What to expect in the future and so on from you and from the relationship. And I think everything that I spoke about before, if you smile, if you come with with a clean heart and do your best, I think that's going to be very, very soon appreciated. And I think it's going to be just fine. I think that, for you to come is a big sacrifice for a young person to do this kind of work. And I commend you, and I think you're going to be just fine. I want to say one more thing about expectations in terms of joining a family, and just be minded about that. Sometimes people expect to be part of the family, and sometimes they don't, and that's on both sides, okay? The employer and the caregiver. So it's like a dance, 2 steps forward, 1 step backward, 1 step forward, 2 steps backward. Building the kind of relationship and understanding the emotional expectations and how you fit in does take time, okay? So in the beginning, if you eat at their table or if you don't, if you like their food at the same time or at a different time, all those little things make a big difference. So just be minded, ask a lot of questions, and eventually, you'll get into a routine that fits for you and for them as well. Thank you, Flamingo, for sharing. You're wearing a very big coat, and RJ is just, in a short sleeved shirt. So that gives you the kind of the variance that we have in different parts of the country of the weather and the temperature and so on. It's very different everywhere. Anyone else would like to ask or share about expectations of the relationship or why they came on this incredible journey and adventure?
Yes, ma'am. Mark here. I want also to share.
Please do.
May I, ma'am?
Hi, Mark.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Bartel. I'm here now cooking with my patient. As a motivation, I came here to Israel to work as a caregiver. My motivation would be my grandmother who passed away. I've been caring for her since she was sick. She was not that sick until she got an operation. Her feet was amputated because of a vein was not functioning properly. There was a clot, and then she feel so much pain because of the operation and feeling so. She feels so. It feels that she's telling me that she's useless. There's no more use of her. So I keep on motivating also her that she's not that useless in life. We are still she is still here for us to be motivated as we all our family is looking at her. She's still strong like that. And especially also for my parents, as they get older, I am not there for them to take care also. As a caregiver, I learned how to be sympathize with the others, especially for the elderly, because one day I'll be at their situation also. So I'd be expecting that as I am working here in Israel, I get to have a family, most specifically with my patient, but not to call them a patient, but as a family already as we start. How I can express my feeling yesterday when my employer, my patient asked me, what about your grandmother? So feelings come back to me that I am about to get homesick, but I make my feelings strong. Since I am not already in the Philippines, I try to get myself adjust for more, be adaptive, because I think that is my strength, to adapt to other culture and be more specific to what I'm doing. I see that language is a barrier here in this Israel, but for me it's an advantage or an edge, since my employer is speaking also in English, even though not so fluent, but she can still manage to communicate with me. And it's a challenge for me to also learn in Hebrew, because it's not as always that I'm with my patient. I have also learned to mingle with the others, and if there's an emergency, I try to get to communicate with the others. That's all I can say, ma'am. Thank you.
Wow, Mark, what an amazing person you are to be so self-aware and to, sometimes we don't know what life will bring us, and so many surprises. And caring for your grandmother has brought you into this profession and is making you such a sensitive, aware person of, elderly people and life in general. Taught you some important lessons. And yeah, good for you. I'm sure
Yes, ma'am.
the employer is a lucky man to have you caring for him and accompanying him through this difficult time in life. And this is a gift that you have. And so I commend you for being
Yes,
aware
ma'am.
of it. It's a gift
But
to be able
I
to
have
do
an
that.
addition, ma'am. My
Please
employer
do.
is a woman.
A
So it's
woman.
yes, ma'am. She's a woman. So I relate to my grandmother. That's why she asked about
Okay,
my mother
that's
yesterday.
and she's a smart lady. And
Yes,
also,
ma'am.
why did she ask to have a man caring for her? Do you know?
Uh, as we are asking with my I'm with the agency yesterday, we are asking about why am I the one chosen, a man. She said she's, even though as long as I feel it, a caregiver from the Philippines, whether a man or a woman.
Ah, okay. So she's also very broad-minded, and you're going to have a very interesting learning experience from this woman. Yes, not
Yes,
everyone
ma'am.
would feel that comfortable about that. So good for you. Okay.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
what city are you in?
I'm in Netanya, ma'am.
In
A
Netanya.
beta
Good
bot
place
in
to
Netanya.
be. Oh, it's in a
Yes,
beta
ma'am.
vote. Okay, so
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
part of a team, and it's going to be a very interesting experience for you. How nice. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so before we take a break, is there anyone else that would like to share? Nympha is going to be joining us in a few minutes, Anna.
Yes,
Okay,
she's waiting.
so I think we'll take a 2-minute, 3-minute break and then get Nympha online, and we will continue. And of course, there's time for questions with Nympha or with us. And okay, 2 or 3 minutes and we'll be back.
All right.